All right, Chuckleheads, what is up? Episode 32 this evening. What's up? I am Jay Berg.
Colton and Colton Drake.
You came in hot on that one. Came in early.
I'm excited.
I love it, dude. Colton Drake here with me as always. Again, episode 32, Magic Johnson episode, dude. He's my hero, my favorite.
Yeah,
so.
dude.
32, this is the Joe List episode. Joe List Small Ball is a special we'll be doing today. Before we get to that, let's talk turkey. What happened last week, man? How'd your week go?
Well, last week went pretty good, dude. Aside from I have a nail in my tire that
rough.
Les Schwab cannot fix for some reason. They can't. It's not even on the sidewall. I don't understand. Right? It looks like totally patchable.
Anti-shout out, Les Schwab. Right
Yeah.
there.
Les Schwab South, dude. Fuck you, dude.
Worst of all the
Yeah.
Les Schwabs.
I'm going to go to
dude.
another Les Schwab. I'm hoping they're like, they wouldn't patch this. Oh, idiots.
You got to go to Lester Schwab. It's a fancier one.
Oh, really? It sounds more dangerous.
Yeah, maybe it is. Shit, I don't know.
So that happened. And then, let's see, I did a show on Friday at Tees Lounge.
Yeah, you did.
20 minutes out there. That was fun. That was kind of a tougher room.
It was tougher. I was out there for that one. I watched that one. Well, I watched the last half of that. Saw you, saw Laura. Everybody did
Saw
fine.
Blade, right?
This wasn't a lot of people paying attention, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. I did get in trouble at the end of the show.
You in trouble?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I remember
got
this.
jumped.
Okay, go ahead.
I got jumped by two gay guys. Well, a gay guy and a gay gal.
I was gonna say
I didn't get jumped, I guess. But
I thought the lady who was talking to you was a woman.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big old bit. She was a larger gal.
It took you so long to find an appropriate word.
I was
for
trying,
that?
yeah. But yeah, they didn't like my they didn't like a couple of my jokes,
Yeah.
apparently. They
Yeah.
apparently AIDS is never funny. That's what I
AIDS
was
is
told.
never funny.
AIDS is not funny. So that kind of sucks. You
Well,
know?
as long as you know that now, so now you can curtail your
Yeah. They
your
told me
material
that. That's
to
what they said too.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, well,
You can
once,
be better
once
now.
you cut that stuff,
Yeah, it's
like
gonna be
you'll be way better.
You're like, sweet, you weren't even listening the entire fucking time.
Also,
you were in the
think
bar
I want
area
your
at
approval?
a free show.
I don't want your approval. Fuck you and your approval.
Yeah, I don't.
AIDS is funny. Child AIDS is funny.
Oh, so funny. dude.
Let's lean in.
Maybe the funniest.
yeah, right up there.
If you can do a Hitler AIDS 9/11 joke, that's
slash school shooting.
There you go. That's the
Yeah.
holy grail.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So
So that sucked.
yeah,
But
it's
it was-
never fun, but shit that
It
happens.
was cool. It doesn't happen very often usually.
No.
I feel like I haven't been addressed about content and jokes for a long time.
No, it doesn't happen too often.
But
And especially like at a free show when they weren't paying attention.
yeah,
like-
but it is Pride Month. And I think that had something that they said that to me.
Sure,
They're like,
but your
that's
joke-
so dumb for you to do that joke during Pride Month.
That's a fucking homophobic way to present that. It's not like only gay people get AIDS.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like
Thank you.
the whole joke. So the joke is,
Yeah. So the joke
yeah, you
the
might as
joke
well just
is
say what the joke is.
I heard that mosquitoes can carry AIDS.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Like
Because who's butt fucking these mosquitoes?
Right. It's like it's a play on how ignorant. It's
By the way,
just
we'll
play on,
pause
like,
to let you
total
laugh because we know that's a good one.
ignorance. Oh shit! I probably have laughter in here, dude. Do I have a laughter? Do I have a laughter button? I don't remember, dude. I'm so bad. At
Oh
this
man,
thing.
it's always a different color.
So it's not laughter. I only have the applause. There you go.
nice.
Got a little bit of
Thanks,
that.
dude. I would have liked to hit
But
the
fucking
punch.
these mosquitoes. Yeah.
Love that.
But no, like, yeah. So the joke is really about how dumb you are.
Right.
Like thinking that you can get AIDS from butt fuck. Thinking,
Yeah.
the
It's such a
absurdity.
joke.
It's
It is
such an
such a
absurd,
joke.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
But-
some people just are. Some people are looking to be upset. Now, there's sometimes where your things on the line. We all do it.
Yeah.
I do it. You do it. Where I can get why people would be upset about it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to change it. But that one in particular is like it's so stupid and absurd. Like, what are they really wanting? That's not funny. Like,
Yeah, that's one of those I don't know.
you know
how
why it's not funny? Because you raped a mosquito. That's actually way worse.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Or somebody did.
Yeah.
Unless there was consent for it. Maybe they gave consent.
Either way,
How does a mosquito gives consent? I don't know.
it's a handshake. I think.
Yeah, something like that, probably. If you got a bump on your wiener, and then that means you're okay. Like,
and they
bite
land.
it.
And they land there.
Exactly.
Yeah. You eat a lot of bananas. I heard they like that.
They love that.
Yeah.
Big time.
Big banana guys, which
Big
does
banana
transition
scopes.
pretty good into this fucking mosquitoes joke.
So dumb, dude.
They're super into bananas.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a new tag for it.
and it's not like, and that's the other thing.
So
It's just a
stupid.
tiny little joke. It's
It's
a
tiny.
one-liner.
It's sandwiched in a whole other story of shit. Yeah, I was kind of blown away, but you never know.
But yeah, I mean, people are gonna. That's how people
It's
are.
fun though. Give me a little pushback. I
for
like
sure.
it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm gonna tell you, it was meant to make you laugh.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you did. That was very good. I like that you didn't apologize for it.
No,
which is good because you didn't feel like sorry about it. You didn't actually.
I'm
regret
definitely
it,
not sorry
like
about
you're
it.
not remorseful about it. So, yeah, that has nothing to do with being gay. I mean, I guess you're saying butt fucking mosquito, but you can butt fuck a chick, right?
Yeah.
So,
how do you know these mosquitoes are not chicks?
yeah, you don't know that.
Yeah,
Maybe they know more about mosquito anatomy than you do. They're
Yeah.
actually like, you know what? Actually,
mosquitoes are pretty gender fluid,
Only-
and we don't appreciate.
only female or only male mosquitoes have even a butthole. Like females have a whole different thing going
God,
on.
you don't even know mosquitoes.
Yeah, I don't think mosquitoes have butts at all. Maybe that's what they're upset about. They're like,
shit blood.
you need to know anatomy.
No.
No, they sweat it out. I don't know what they do. That's your what would that
It's
be?
our mosquito minute.
Mosquito minute.
Yeah.
That's a lot better than what I was going to go with, which was some sort of weird. I was going to try to remember what what the insect scientists are called. I always forget they're called.
Yeah,
It starts with an E, I think.
Beekeeper.
Yeah, that's no, not that.
It. That's not it. That's one type of
Apiarist is a beekeeper. That's another name for a beekeeper. You know that?
Oh, I did not know that. A what? Apiarist?
Apiarist, yeah. I learned that from Dwight Schrute on The Office. So
Oh, nice. Boom.
the episode where
Laughing. This is a real laugh and learn.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Joe
I don't
List
know.
would say.
Exactly. Real laugh and learn. Absolutely. Yeah, and then you had a show on Sunday, right? Father's
yeah.
Day.
Oh, yep. Did the Father's
Big
Day show.
Father's Day guy.
I got to close out the Father's Day show.
Yeah,
I
dude.
did 25 minutes at the Spokane Comedy
Hell
Club,
yeah.
which was cool. That was the most amount of time I've gotten to do at the comedy club. So
Very nice.
I was real stoked about that.
And how'd it go?
That was a very fun show. Very fun. Yeah, I had a blast with that. That was way
Excellent.
more fun than the tease experience.
Then the tease experience. Yeah. Well, you didn't
Yeah.
get yelled at afterwards.
Yeah. Way fun.
And 25 minutes is 25 minutes, and it's on
Yeah.
the club stages. Nothing against tease, but it's not the club.
right.
Obviously.
Oh yeah. No. And those tease shows can be fun. That last one just wasn't it.
Sure.
I think
Friday
there's,
the 13th, dude. Is
there's a
weird.
lot going on. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Friday the 13th. Crazy
And it's
show.
right next to a tattoo spot that does like a deal on
Friday,
flash art on Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
So that's
pretty
part of the
crazy.
thing. I think that like the idea is we'll get people that are doing that
Yeah.
to come over to the show. But yeah, it's kind of just tough.
Yeah, man. But yeah, keep at it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cool. Tease keeps doing that show, so I'm into it.
Yeah.
Laura keeps hosting it. They keep doing it.
It's more
so.
stage time.
Absolutely need that stage time. We talked about that at length last week.
Yep. And just to hit on what we said last week again, too.
Boom.
Go to Tees.
Go to
So
Tees.
go to these different mics so you
Yeah.
can get these spots.
Yep. So
on
you'll
these
get
early
booked for 'em,
shows.
for sure.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I was actually telling somebody that they should contact Laura to see if they can get on one of those Tees showcases.
Nice.
But I'm like, but you should probably go out
Yeah.
because we probably have a better shot if you actually go to Tees a few times.
Minimum, she'll give you
a shot.
$20 for doing 10 minutes on a Tuesday.
Boom. If if you're selected.
Yeah, if you're selected.
If you are selected. Yeah, man. So good last week for you. I did Father's
last
Day
week.
show with my dad last week. So
Cool.
yesterday. So that was fun. Not really anything much. Just
Did you
sat
take him
there
somewhere?
No. Went down to his house, hung out in his living room, had him cook me a burger,
Cool.
and watched
You made
College
him
World
cook?
Series.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I didn't make him. He was just like, hey. Actually, my stepmom did all the fixings, and he cooked up a burger,
Sweet.
and I sat there and played with my balls. So it was great.
Hell yeah. Good ball playing.
It was amazing ball playing. It was some of the best. So that was last week, man. We do have a new listener update.
Sweet.
We didn't get any new states. We didn't get any new countries. But
Okay.
we got a
state.
new
No
region.
new states is regular for us.
Yeah, it is. Well, we
Yeah,
only have.
at
I'm going
this
to ask
point.
you about that in a second here.
Okay.
We only have. So first of all, we got a new chunk of Sweden that I'm not going to be able to pronounce correctly. Vastra Gotaland.
Nailed it.
You have no idea what it looks like. It
I
looks
don't.
really difficult.
But it sounded Swedish.
Sure. Whatever it is, thank you, that area of Sweden. We love you.
Thanks. Vasco
Another
Gotaland.
area. Vastra Gotaland.
Thank you, Vasco Gotaland.
Gotaland. I don't know how to
Say
fuck
it fast. You just
I feel like it looks German. And
it
it
sounds kind of German.
and I definitely am pronouncing it wrong. You know what I mean? Because it's got to be Swedish sounding. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We have 6 states that we haven't gotten.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And today I went through and I looked at which ones they were. Can you name any of them?
North Dakota.
North Dakota's one. I think that's probably the easiest one.
Sweet. Okay.
There are 5 other ones. Do you
I
got
think
them?
we have Hawaii.
We do.
So I'm gonna say Utah.
We have Utah.
We have Utah. Ohio.
We have Ohio.
Oh God.
I'll just tell you, this is going to be too. Yeah.
Montana.
Montana, we're missing.
Nice.
We're missing. I can't believe we're missing Montana. That's like,
Right. It's
you know,
kind
I
of-
can throw a rock and hit Montana from here.
Yeah.
Come on, Montana.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Come on, Henry Sipe. Listen to us. Come on,
Yeah. Yellowstone.
that one guy.
Come on, John Dutton
Yeah.
from Yellowstone.
What is that, Montana?
Yeah, Yellowstone National Park's in Montana, right?
I mean, it's mostly in Wyoming.
What? Am I retarded? I didn't know.
I mean,
You're like, you said it to
yeah,
yourself.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Why did I think that was in Montana?
Also, we're missing Wyoming, by the way. We're missing Delaware, Montana, North Dakota, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming. That's it.
Oh, I mix up Utah and Wyoming all the time. That's a regular one.
So get on your friends in those states and let them know. They need to start listening to this podcast.
Contact your
where we have
friends
no
in
idea.
all the states.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're talking about. So, but thank you, new listeners in Sweden, and thank you for keeping at it, listening to us, everybody. You know what I mean? So, what do you say? You want to get on to Joe List? You got anything
Hell
else to talk about?
Not really.
Not really. Not really. I don't have anything to talk about. I hate it. It's bullshit. All right. So here we go. This is the trailer for Joe List special Small Ball.
People mistake my weakness for kindness. Like, people are like, you're a really nice guy. And I'm like, I fucking hate you. I don't know how to express it. I got friends for like 25 years. They're like, you're always there for me. I'm like, I don't want to be. I really very much dislike you. Do women think they need wingmen? Ladies, if you want to have sex with a guy, just let him know. He will do it. Even if he's married with children, he'll be like, yeah, okay, sure. These people that do the live special, what a bunch of nitwits, you know? I could be like, oh, no one's ever going to see that. Have the special open with that. Get yourself a ticket to a C-section. You got to see it. It's like a magic trick, because you don't have a baby, and then they put up a big curtain, and then they're like, what? And then you're like, whoa, shit. Woo! I thought labor was like, like shitting blood and crying the whole time. My wife was asleep for like 14 of the 22 hours. I had to sleep in a chair, upright. This is cinema. We'll cut all this. We'll put this right on the cutting room floor.
And there it was. That was Joe List Small Ball. Just came
Hell
out.
yeah.
Just came out a couple weeks ago.
What'd you think of the trailer?
It was all right. It was fine.
I wasn't crazy about the music behind
The music's a little weird. It
Yeah.
doesn't really fit. Yeah, it's kind of cheesy.
it. God,
Kind of cheesy.
cut that shit.
A little bit cheesy. Actually, didn't think he had the best parts of his jokes in there either. It seemed like he was getting parts that weren't that funny in there, and not like closing out jokes. I don't know.
Oh, in that trailer? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Joe List, this is his fourth special, his third on YouTube. He also has one on, I believe, Netflix, but it might be something else. But it's his third on YouTube, fourth total. He is a regular at the Comedy Cellar. He was on the stand-up. You ever watch the stand-ups? Like the whole series of the stand-ups?
Yeah. I don't
So
know
he
if I've
was
seen
one of them.
all of them.
He was one of them on there. In 2018, he toured the country opening for Louis for a long time. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
He was in a movie with Louis, I think, where he was the main character called
Oh.
The 4th of July.
Oh, look at you. Little research guy over
It's only
here.
available on Louis' website, I believe.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh. He started comedy right out of high school, 2000, in
Sweet.
Boston. Had a couple albums. He did the late show circuit, which is pretty common since he came out that late. They're that early.
Mm-hmm.
He was also a finalist on Last Comic Standing. He does a podcast with Mark Norman, Tuesdays with Stories.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he also does a podcast with Renan Hirschberg called Joe and Renan Talk Movies. Ronan's one of the people who you should follow this person from like way back in the day. One of the first ones I did.
Oh, nice.
So that's it. That is Joe List. I think we're done. Okay, we'll end the podcast there.
Okay, you guys check it out.
No, so that's his little background. Let's just talk about this special in general. 55 minutes, filmed at two different Zanies, one in Chicago and one in the Chicagoland area. Rosemont, is that what we said?
Yes.
Yeah. So he did. So interestingly, he did two different. I mean, he spliced together two different venues for this special, which I thought was really interesting. But before we get into that, overall, though, what'd you think?
I like Joe List, so
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun ideas, fun jokes.
Yeah.
pretty clean for the most part. I mean, he's got a couple dick jokes in there.
Yeah, he didn't strike me as super dirty.
Yeah,
but he does. I mean, it's not clean for sure, but it's not,
a lot of the original,
egregious.
A lot of the premises too aren't that dirty.
Yeah, a lot of silly, a lot of weird. But you really liked it. I liked it. Really liked it. I don't know. I mean, out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7.
Oh, really?
Somewhere in there. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
What did you? What was something that stood out to you that you didn't like about it?
I didn't like that he pulled the audience a lot. He did a lot of like, you guys do this, oh, you guys do that, like to set up his jokes, and so I thought that made it kind of clunkier. Like it wasn't like he was really transitioning. He was doing hard stops and then like, hey, do you guys do like that kind of stuff? He did that several times, and I started to notice it, and it immediately sort of annoyed me. But I mean, that's nitpicking, to be honest with you. And then his voice is just hard to listen to for a long time for me. It's just kind of jarring, maybe the wrong word, but something like that. Like it's just a little bit.
So it's not like his cadence is boring.
No,
it's
no,
just like no, I gotcha. It's just a little annoying.
No. Yeah. So I guess we both liked it. Obviously, I think we should go right into Fashionisto, because this is a special edition of Fashionisto.
Yeah, Fashionisto.
Because 2 different venues, he wore 2 different outfits too. He wasn't trying to hide the fact he was not that he could have. One of them has a giant zany sign, and the other one doesn't.
Right.
And then different curtain colors and different venue styles. So, lay it on me. He's got 2 different styles. What do you got?
The one in Rosemont, Illinois, is filmed at Zany's, like we were talking about, and the curtains are blue. The backdrop is kind of like blue curtains, blue and like dark, right? And he is wearing a gray bomber jacket over a navy blue t-shirt, it looks like, that matches kind of the curtains, and then he has like a gray pair of jeans on, and he's got his normal like black nerdy looking glasses, and that's kind of what he's wearing. It's nothing too crazy. It is jacket on shirt, which classic move at this point.
Bomber jacket.
Yeah, bomber jacket. It's a clutch move. If he had a flannel under that, maybe.
Oh man.
Maybe it was special would have been better, because that's what David Spade did.
I think he looks like a way different type of dude if he has a flannel on underneath his jacket, though.
He does. I can't imagine him with like a backwards hat on or something.
Be sick.
Or a bucket hat with some cool sunglasses. So this fit, this fit, its rating is, I'm gonna say, like, I don't hate it. I think he's kind of he's got like a boring guy kind of vibe to him, so it kind of matches that. I think for who he is, I think it matches him.
He looks like a reader. Yeah,
he totally looks like a reader. Yeah, it's a good way
it does match him. Okay, what about the other one? Oh, you keep going. Sorry.
Okay, so I would give this one, since it matches him, I'm not necessarily crazy about the look.
Okay,
but I'm gonna give him 8 Prince Albs.
8 Prince Alberts. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. And that's just because, that kind of fits he embodies it, kind of, right?
All right. What about his other look?
So his other look, this one is in Chicago Zanies, okay, Illinois, still, believe it or not. And the curtains are red.
Chicago, Missouri.
Yeah, in case you were confused, the Windy City. Red curtains, right? A little bit of a different vibe set. And he, for that, is wearing a light gray sweater. Can we go to a picture of him at the Chicago
maybe.
one?
Keep going.
He has like a light gray hoodie, zip-up hoodie. There we go. With like a maroon shirt underneath it. Okay. The hoodie looks like it's probably kind of expensive. He looks like he spent money on that. He didn't buy that from Target, I don't think.
Okay.
But this one is kind of more boring to me. Like, you're recording a special. I don't know. I'm giving this one a 6.
6.0 Prince Alberts.
Yeah. 5.9. Go 5.9.
All right.
I don't like landing on solid numbers if it's not.
Do you want 8.0 Prince Alberts for the first look?
Yeah, we'll go 8.0 for those ones, yeah.
All right. This is really important.
It's very important.
It's very important, because once we, get like 50 or whatever, we have to rank everybody in Prince Alberts. And
I will say, I don't know if this is just me. This Zanies in Chicago looks like the stage is so tall.
It does look pretty
Does it
tall. It
feel
also
like
looks
that?
small. It looks kind of small and tall.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of tripping me out the whole time. Where it's like his feet just look like they're like right at somebody's head.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I didn't really pay attention to that part. I mean, it was a little weird when he was going back and forth between the two, and I wonder if he had always planned to do it that way, or if like he just. I mean, so how many times did he film at each location? Once each, twice each? You know what I mean? They're on back-to-back nights, so.
They
October
are on
or
back-to-back
something.
nights. Yeah, that's
so
true. So he had to kind of do
He
either
only
two
did-
shows one night. It's not like he could do multiple nights,
yeah,
really.
did he not have a full weekend that he could do his special taping on, or is that something that
Yeah,
would just have been too much of a pain in the ass, or what?
that's
But,
an interesting question. That would be If he was sitting right here, that'd be a great question. For
yeah.
him.
I like. I don't know. I definitely like the bomber jacket over the shirt look, just
Better.
for my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I think the hoodie looks kind of. You said it looked expensive. I actually thought it looked kind of cheap.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know shit.
I don't know.
Just-
I mean, I don't really know shit either. I don't
I'm
see
not a
any
big, I'm not a big
brand on
hoodie
it.
expert. Yeah, there's no brand on it. There's no Joe List brand on it.
Yeah,
It's swag.
he gets an extra point for that, for not having his name.
Not
on
have
his
his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Felipe Esparza.
Oh, dude, there's a dude, a Seattle comic, talking about how he always wears his merch when he's performing, and he wears it like all the time, everywhere, and like people give him shit for it all the time, including me. I absolutely give him shit about it whenever I see him. And he's like, "Well, that's the type of thing that let me pay, other comedians $1,000 because I promote myself. I'm always promoting and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you look fucking stupid." You know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even mind it. I don't mind wearing. Actually, I don't mind that he wears his this hoodie that's just his merch or whatever.
Right.
I don't even mind that he wears it because it doesn't like it says his name on it. You know what I mean? But it's like all the time. That's the only thing I don't. If you occasionally wear it, sure. But he like makes a point to wear it like all the time.
That is, I think, way better if it's just your brand. Like you're saying, if your brand is not your name and it's just like this cool, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, fake band, maybe like Latex Demons or something cool like that. That's cool. I
You got to
could
make it
get-
about yourself, don't you?
I have to. Promo. This is sponsored by Latex Demons.
Latex Demon.
Heaviest band in the world.
It sounds so dirty.
But I like that. If you wear your name on your shirt, I feel like that is kind of weird.
How can you be doing AIDS jokes with Latex Demons as your band name? I can't believe you would do that.
What do you mean? Guess who's not getting?
Should be
AIDS?
Lambskin Demons.
Latex Demons is not getting AIDS.
Yeah.
They're protected.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
But you clearly understand the danger. Sorry, I got off track there. Ridiculous.
But yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think it is weird to wear, especially.
Like, we're going to get stand-up snobs merch, and I specifically want to get something that I like wearing.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But
wear
I
it.
want to make sure that it's very not inconspicuous or conspicuous, whichever one means it's not like in your face.
Right.
It's a little logo here, a little logo there, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always give Anthony shit whenever he wears his Anthony Singleton shirt that
Yeah.
says Anthony Singleton with his big old face on it. I'm like, dude,
I think it's kind of funny because I think he knows what he's doing.
it is funny,
He knows it's ridiculous.
but yeah. I guess there's that.
It's
part
not
of
like
it,
he's
tongue-in-cheek
only
or
wearing
whatever.
that. Like,
Yeah,
if
that's a
that
good
was
point.
all he was wearing,
That's a good point.
that would be weird.
Yeah, that's a good
You'd be
point.
like, what are you doing here? God, into yourself much?
Yeah, no
Jeez.
shit. Speaking of which, Anthony Singleton, July 11th, man.
July 11th.
Yeah, we're doing the live podcast of Anthony Singleton's Spokane Famous,
Mm-hmm.
the world premiere of the release of that. It'll be on YouTube as well. So come on out to the Draft Zone for that. We'll talk to you about it a little bit later, but I figure since we're already talking about it, we can already talk about
good,
it.
Good little plug right now.
Little pluggy plugs, dude. Plug and play. Did
But-
you notice? Go ahead, yeah.
No, your turn.
Oh, no, I was going to ask you. So did you have anything else you wanted to say about
Oh, yeah.
the fit? Go
I
ahead.
do.
Yeah,
Not necessarily the fit, but since we're talking looks and aesthetics, kind of,
that's what I meant. Yeah.
I since it's between two specials, I really liked the way that they transitioned between
Okay.
one to the other. I
That
thought
was something I was going to ask about.
I thought the transitions were super smooth.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty surprisingly smooth. I actually am kind of surprised. I don't know. I kind of like some of the angles from one of them better than like. There's an angle from the Rosemont one that shows like a light up sign. That's sort of an angle from kind of behind him that I think looks sick. I really like it.
The flamingo
These
is it
ones like
the-
this. Only
those
it's on the
lights.
other side.
Gotcha.
And it's just got a zanies like neon sign.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
I like
about.
that angle. But then like so I think that I actually like the Rosemont room a lot better. Like just in general, I think
It
it's
looks
a cooler
more
looking
comfortable.
room. Yeah.
And like look at how
The Zany
It's
Chicago sign is kind of, I don't love it. Like it's a little bit.
I think the sign is cool. I just think that the height on this stage makes sense. I think
Okay.
the height on the Chicago one trips me out.
It almost looks like he had a smoke machine on this one because it's very like there's like
Yeah.
a foggy look behind it. It's weird.
There is kind of a foggy.
This
look.
is the Rosemont one we're talking about right now, but
Yeah.
I like the I would have been fine with him just doing the Rosemont one if he was going to choose just one or the other. That's the one
I think
chose.
I will say though, I think that Chicago Zanies. I haven't done any Zanies. I've never been to a Zanies. I'd love to go. I'd love to
Absolutely
do one.
and it's sort of a bigger. I mean, it's a bigger.
Yeah,
you
right.
know.
It's kind of
Well,
like
I mean, shit, they're both Zanies, but like
it's an A-list. It's an A-list club.
But that's the look I like.
But I think the Chicago one looks kind of intimidating. I don't know why.
just because it's too tall.
I
Is
don't
it
know
still
if it's
the
'cause
height
it's-
thing.
It might be.
How do you get up there? Fucking
well, no, it
pole
just
vault
seems
up there or what?
like the room seems more packed and like kind of
Interesting.
different. I don't know. I was just kind of looking at it. I was like, oh man, that for some reason
I would
was
love to
kinda
go to any Zanies anywhere. To be honest with you, I haven't even been to the one in Nashville. I'm sure I'll go there next time I go in since the boys are hanging out there. doing
Yeah,
that,
that'd be cool.
But
These
yeah,
look great though. I think
they do look good.
The curtains and all that shit look awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you notice it? So we're sort of on the same topic here. Did you notice any weirdness of him taping both special or the same special in two different spots? Did you notice anything weird about it? Other than obviously there's a little bit different look.
I noticed the audio kind of seemed like it was a little bit different in one of them.
Okay. Because I did not notice that. And I was really, I expected to notice that because I think it's really hard to mic somebody up the same way on two different places.
And the audio,
two different
just to be clear,
nights.
I think the audio was great
Yeah.
for both of them. I did
You
just
see
notice
a little bit.
of an audio change. But it's
What?
just because I have that ear. You know what I
have that
mean?
ear.
I have the ear. I have miracle ear.
I don't know. When you hear, if we were to try to do this podcast like over 2 days, I feel like my voice changes enough day to day that you could tell it's a different day.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like whether it's like a little bit lower, a little bit higher, a little bit gravelier, shit like that. So
Right.
I thought they did a really good job with the sound engineering. To be honest
Me
with you.
too. I will say though, it did not seem like it didn't sound like he was crushing necessarily.
No, I don't think his style like crushes in the traditional sense. I think there's just a lot of like rolling laughter where there's like a little bit extra and then like it doesn't really get huge. It's almost like his like awkwardness might not be the correct word, but sort of is. Like his style's sort of frantic and awkward, and so it's hard to get like a big laugh going. I feel like.
There was one part where I loved it. He says a joke, it doesn't get much of a response, and he hits the mic, pop, 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 and he's like, "This thing on?"
Oh, I hated that.
I thought that shit was pretty
Oh
funny.
God! I mean, it's kind of the same. It's Anthony's shirt all over again, right? Because it's like it's hacky, but it's like knowingly hacky. So
Yeah.
like, do you like that or you not like that? I could go either way with it, but I didn't like it.
I thought
like,
it
"Oh, come on,
was
man."
kind of silly. I enjoyed that.
It is, I mean, clearly he's been doing it long enough. He knows he's like kind of like doing, is this thing on?
And it
like,
worked.
Yeah, it worked.
This thing on is so hacky.
It is
so funny.
It's open mic style shit. In fact, like I got to the point. I guess it's not that hacky anymore because everyone knows it now. So nobody does it. So now doing it is like you bringing up. It's like wearing hypercolor. No, it's like it's like wearing
I know what you're
old
saying.
school shit, vintage shit,
Mhm.
right? So yeah, the more they keep switching back and forth, the bomber jacket look is way better.
Yeah.
The
But,
other
and like, look at how tall he is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it sort of looks like it's like a theater environment almost at the Zany Chicago, where it's like more of a comedy club environment at the Zany's.
Yeah.
Rosemont. Yeah. All right, you want to get into favorite jokes?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. I think we figured out Fashionisto. 8.0 on the Rosemont and 5.9 on the Chicago. So that's gonna be about 6.95, I believe. Is
Yeah,
our,
that's the
is our
average.
average, just under 7. Ooh, didn't quite make 7
Damn.
for the combined average. Or does he get to count them together?
No, it's a combined average.
13.9. All right. So these are our favorite jokes. We're going to go through with you. As always, we give you a little taste of a joke that we liked, and we tell you why we liked them. So I'm gonna have you go first. Are you good with that?
Sure.
You want to set this joke up?
Yeah. So essentially, he is talking about he had a baby, and now he kind of is prefacing before he had a baby, he was having these run-ins with kids that weren't necessarily going great, and this is an example of one.
All right, let's do it.
And then later that year, I had another incident. This was at in the Salt Lake City airport. I was walking through the airport, and this time it was like a little girl having a tantrum. She was probably, I don't know, two, 3, and no, this is true though. She was having like she was on the. You know when a kid like really loses it, like ah, like a full tantrum. And then the mother, she tried to get me involved. She goes, "You better get off the ground. There's a nice man right here. He's going to step on your leg and break it if you don't get up." I swear to God. And then the kid looks at me like I'm a monster, like, what? And the mother was like, you want me to go along with this? Like, that's right, bitch, get up, or else I'll break your little baby leg. That's what I do. I break children's legs. I don't even have a ticket. This is a service I provide. I step on kids' limbs if they're upset.
All right, there it is.
Okay.
Talk to me about it.
I love the joke because it is such a funny visual. I mean, a pretty horrific visual,
Right.
but yeah, it is a funny place to be in. Kind of like is that juxtaposition in it? No,
Sure.
maybe not. I don't know. All right. So I love that aspect about it. I also this was a great joke to kind of emphasize like the tag of that joke that he just did. The like last thing that he ends on doesn't get a huge pop.
It's a service I provide. Blah blah.
Yeah,
That whole thing.
Yeah, that doesn't get the huge laugh. The huge laugh kind of comes before that, and then the rest of the time he's kind of just getting sprinkles of laughter throughout, like just like we were talking about.
This sort of ties into something I really like that I have in my list of things that I like, and that is I really like his tags. He has great tags. They sound professional, and they don't get huge laughs like that, but they're like sort of like Easter eggs for people who are paying attention, and they're not really. I don't think they're really intended to get huge laughs. They're intended to get like a giggle, like you were talking about that. That's funny, like whatever. Then
Right.
and the before we go back into this joke, the example that I remember he's talking about, like dude, like only guys say that somebody has a nice ass in like a disgusting way. And he's like, yeah, I'd eat her ass from behind after a workout. Yeah, or I'd eat her used toilet paper, some shit like that, or whatever it was.
So you
And
can
he
use
goes-
my face as toilet paper.
And then, use my face as toilet paper. And then he goes, yeah, I've heard that multiple times this week. 2 different guys, they're just like little tiny tags that like aren't gonna get a huge laugh, but I love those. Like those to me are like I think they show the professionalism. I think they show the experience, right? Like he's just adding on a couple of these. They're not gonna go anywhere, but it just kind of rounds out the joke and lets the laughs die out, but also keeps keeps it going, so there's not as big of a gap before he gets the next thing. So I love that. I love that about this special. Going back to that joke though, you liked, and I hope I didn't like throw you off track at all, but you liked like the visual of it,
yeah.
right? So continue on with that.
Yeah, I like the visual of it. I like the detail with talking about the kid on the ground, and you just can kind of just get this extreme picture, and then just a picture of him. He's a goofy looking guy, and if he's just stomping on children's legs is just so silly.
It's sort of like Larry David right? Where he's put in this awkward situation and he's trying to act normally, but really it's kind of a weird situation to put somebody in.
It is. And what do? Do you?
Yeah, it is. And it's super fucking weird if you don't have kids and you're not a part of somebody's, for somebody to bring you in when you didn't ask to be a part of something.
Yeah.
And then say something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
and then you're just trying to go with it because you don't know what you're
Stepping
even
on
doing
your
in that
leg.
situation.
this nice man's going to step on your legs. Like, why would you fucking say that to me?
Yeah.
Like,
the joke before that too, I really love, is kind of in the same vein with the kid on the elevator.
Yeah.
Right. There's this kid on the elevator with him.
Yeah.
And his dad or whatever, and they're like on the elevator. They go to one of the floors. The door's open. The door's closed, and he goes, "Must have been a ghost."
Yeah, nobody got on or off.
Yeah,
and Jola said, "Yeah,
must have been a ghost." And the kid starts freaking out. Yeah.
The dad's like, "What the fuck?" And it's like, "Dude, come on." Man.
Yeah, you're raising a bitch ass kid. He goes off on that, but he's like, "Dude," he's like, "What? I can't really make it better. What am I gonna do?"
Yeah.
Just be like, Oh, silly guy, dude. Ghosts don't need doors. They go through walls.
Yeah.
They're boundless spirits that haunt you at night. There's like, I love that.
It's similar to the Louis joke, which we'll talk about on a different episode, but similar to the Louis joke where he talks about like telling his daughter the sun's gonna explode. Like we're gonna do that we're taping another episode tonight, but that's it's like you're just like bringing real life to this toddler or whatever. Something he did in that clip that I'm glad that you picked that clip. There's the part at the very beginning where he says, so this kid, he's about 2'2", 2'3", didn't get a laugh really about it, but like earlier in the special, he's talking about how you never introduced or you never talk about a kid's height.
Right.
Like you're never like, my nephew, he's like 1'6", you know what I mean? 3'4", like we only talk about.
He's like 3'4".
It's so important to us as adults. And it's not something we talk about as children, right?
Right.
And so that was just a little tiny, like an Easter egg that was like, I knew you're not going to get a laugh out of that, but I loved it. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm not going to laugh out loud for it. I'm like,
it's a good
I like
callback.
that he put a little. I love those kind of callbacks, the little tiny callbacks that don't even have like a big laugh line. It's just like, have you been paying attention?
Yeah, and using a callback on a setup is kind of interesting too. Usually callbacks, from what I've kind of experienced and seen, callbacks are more used on tags.
Sure.
Right. But to use it in a setup is kind of an interesting play. And maybe that's something that, like, when we talk about like what could we possibly integrate from this special into
I'm on
our
the
stuff.
Same page with you. That's one of the categories we've been talking about recently is how can we integrate something, or what would we integrate from someone's special into what we do as artists.
Yeah. And I think that might be a cool one for this is to
that's what
try
I
to
would
put a
have
callback in a setup.
Yeah, or even just like the level of callback. Here's one thing I've noticed about callbacks recently, and not only over time, right? But if they sound forced, I really hate them. Like I really hate a callback that's forced. And the bigger a deal you make a callback, the more it sounds forced. And so if you just put it in real quick and don't really say anything about it, I think that's great because that's the type of callback I can really get behind. I like it when a good callback comes, obviously, but like sometimes it can seem so like manufactured, and it's like, all right, well, I know where you're going, even if you can predict them.
I've heard a lot of people say that of forced callbacks and not liking forced callbacks. I have a hard time kind of putting my finger on exactly what a forced callback means.
Yeah, I think it all has to do with how well it's set up. Honestly, like. I think the difference between it's like what makes hack, right? Like it's like that's sort of what I'm talking about when I say forced callback. It's kind of hacky. Like it's not. It's hacky on a different level. It's because you're using like a tool of comedy that's I would call it a more advanced tool than the usual hacky shit you're talking about. But yeah, essentially, it's just, do I like it or not?
So now, just out of curiosity,
sure.
For a forced callback, would it be something that you would like see coming?
Usually, yeah. Usually you either see it coming or it's sort of weird that they're bringing something up until you see the callback. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the middle of a story and then it takes this turn and you're not really sure why it took that turn.
Oh,
and even if you can't see the callback coming necessarily, when they get to the callback, you're like, oh, that was the whole point of taking that like right turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just keeping it on the same.
I see.
Yeah.
Got you.
That's what I would say. I mean, that's just the way I feel.
Okay,
about it.
like taking a detour to hit a callback would be a forced callback.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And also because people love to do callbacks and because they work really well.
That's and they're fun. They are fun
to
do.
Fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. And if you can do one seamlessly, they're really fun.
Yeah.
But I find I've put in callbacks before. I look at it and I'm like, I just did that just to do a callback. That seems kind of lame.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I like callbacks. You
love callbacks.
I'm a big callback.
You're a huge callback guy.
But I have done
We're
a callback.
calling back to other episodes when you've said that before.
That callback, boom, not forced.
Boom.
Yeah. Soft, or what's the opposite of forced?
Being forced on?
The callback. The callback agreed to be. I don't know.
Consensual?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Consensual callback. I have done callbacks before where, like, it's part
really
of my.
Fucked you up, dude.
It's part of my joke.
Yeah.
It's part of my joke. And I'm excited to get to it, but I've had somebody in the audience get there before me.
Oh, that's the worst.
And I was like, oh, damn. And they apologized after they said it, which I don't know if that made it better or not, right? Like, they're like, oh,
Nah,
sorry. I was like, oh, damn.
That's a good audience move, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
it's nice of them because like, oh, you kind of stepped on your joke.
Yeah. But that being said, it is a fun callback, but they
Sure.
could see it coming. So if
Yeah.
you can see it coming, should I cut it?
You should hide it better,
Hide it
probably, or get to it in a different way, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's how I
Because
feel
I just kind
about
of
it.
use it as a tag, just like a
Yeah.
boop, bam. I don't try to go anywhere further with it.
Yeah,
It's
I
just more
mean-
like a drop this right here.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like I think what you're talking about when you say using them as tags, that's different than going off on a tangent to
Right.
specifically do it. Obviously,
Right.
because it's late, you're doing other jokes,
Right.
and then you're adding on that tag at the end. Adding on the tag at the end makes it like one line and super simple, right? Like
Right.
if you're just referencing something you said, you know what I mean?
Right.
Really quickly. I don't. Yeah, that doesn't make the strongest callbacks, but it doesn't. I don't have a problem with those. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I just remember when that guy saw it coming, I was like, damn.
It doesn't snob me up in you at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get all snobbing on your knob over there.
Snobbing on your knob. That's the shirts. That's what
That's
they say.
print the shirts. Yeah. So one of the other callbacks that I like pseudo callbacks that he did that is an example of why I really like the way he calls back was when he talks about he's about 3/4 of the way through, and he does the Italian accent, and he's talking about some shit, and he's like, Pablo Picasso said that because earlier in the special he has a whole bit about how he thought Pablo Picasso was Italian.
Yeah.
And so it was really, really quick, just a little line where he did an Italian accent for some purpose, and I forget what the purpose was.
Uh-huh.
He goes, I sound like Pablo Picasso right now, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just love that because it was very super quick. Also, I know a lot of people didn't get it. It makes me feel smart when I hear it and I think I got it and other people didn't. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm kind of
yeah.
narcissistic that way. So I really like those particular types of jokes. I think that goes right in line with his the other callback we just talked about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Dig it.
That was my favorite joke though.
That was a good joke.
There's a lot of jokes in there that I really liked, honestly.
Yeah, there's some fun ones, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll just move on to mine then. The one that I selected. This is about him giving birthday money to his niece.
Anyways, I gave her $50. She loved it. And then this year, I was like, what do I get? She's turning 11. I'm like, what do I get her this year? You know, my wife goes, why don't you give her $100? I was like, why don't I? Well, because I gave her 50 last year. That's why. I'm not doubling it every year. Can't set that precedent. Her 18th birthday, I'll owe her $16,500. So I came up with something better. I got her gift cards to her favorite places. She loves Jimmy John's, Dairy Queen, and Olive Garden. And I got her one gift card to each. $10 gift card to each. She was thrilled. She was pumped. She got like, she was like, oh my God, oh, yeah. She got 3 things, so she was excited. She's too dumb to put together. She got $20 less than she got last year. It's brilliant. Next year, I'm getting her $5 gift cards. I'm just gonna slowly get her more and less at the same time. Very smart. Also, Olive Garden, hilarious gift for a kid. Because now her father has to take a family of 5 to the Olive Garden. It's a great gift. You're like, you're welcome, and fuck you. Enjoy your $175 meal, your fake Italian bullshit meal, with a $10 coupon from your daughter.
He may have said the Italian part there. I don't remember what happened, but he could have thrown a Pablo Picasso restaurant in there if he wanted to, or reference in there.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't, but yeah. So I really like that joke. I really like that he takes it to. It's already funny. The idea of like giving a kid less shit, but they think it's more because it's more shit, right? It's like more items, but less monetary value, right?
Right.
But then the idea of going one step further and going, oh, what does that actually mean? Oh, I gave her a gift card to an Olive Garden, and now her dad has to spend money doing the. Yeah,
Right.
I really like that because he could have stopped the joke before that. It'd still be really funny.
Right.
But that extra, like, oh, how far can I take this joke? That's an example of really good writing that
Right.
we talk about all the time. We're like, oh, I thought that joke was done.
Yeah.
It's actually what the best jokes almost always do is like, oh, that joke's done. You feel like that joke's done, and then they're
There's
like, no,
one more
there's
step.
two more parts
Yeah.
to it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so I just really enjoyed that. I will say, picking nits, wasn't happy about the math,
Oh, really?
'Cause
Is
I
the
did
math
the math.
wrong?
which is such a
I would have
douchey thing
never
to do.
caught
Dude.
that.
Such a douchebag move,
What
but
is
I
the
did it.
math?
So he said $10, or at 10 he gave her 50, right?
Right.
At age, so he said I think 16,500. At age 18, it actually would have been 12,800.
If
Here's
you
the
doubled
thing.
it every year.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's super douchey of me to go and do the math, but I know people who would do that. A lot of people would do that actually because we're douchebag America.
Yeah.
It's douchey of me to do that, but also it's so easy to just actually use the right number. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A 16 is funnier than 12.
Whoa. The number 16 is funnier than 12.
Yeah. Yeah. Just as far as numbers
What
go.
if I'm fucking a 12-year-old? That's more funny than a 16-year-old, right?
No, it's sadder. Right. Like some numbers are just funnier.
You think 16 is funnier than 12? We have to get into this. We might get into a fight over this.
Oh, no. I do.
How the hell can you think 16 is funnier than 12? All right, go ahead.
I think 8 might be the funniest number.
You know the number. Do you use a number repeatedly for like a large number, for a small number, or anything like that? Because I do. I've noticed I've done it. I didn't do it on purpose, but I use the number 37 all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, 37 different types. Whenever I'm saying there's like a lot of
Yeah.
them, I always say 37 or 37,000 or
Yeah.
and
So
not on purpose.
if you said 38, it'd be way funnier.
Yeah, I disagree.
I don't know why. For me, I think 8 is funny. There's something too about not whole numbers, obviously. Right? Like a whole number's not funny.
Yeah, not 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want your number
43 is so much better than 40. Even 39 is more
right.
is funnier.
And 43 is
It's so
funnier.
funny
It's
we're
funnier
doing-
than 44. Right?
All right. Yeah. No, I don't know. No, 44 is 44 is pretty
44
funny.
Eh.
But I kind of like 43 better. I think I agree with you on that. But yeah, 37 is my go-to.
37 is your go-to. I think
I think it's because of the way it's because it's partly the number of syllables. I don't know. It's easy for me to say. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it's definitely the one I go to. Do you have one? Do you know of that you know of?
what? Oh, like
A
number.
number that
a
you
number
use
I
a
like.
lot.
I like 18.
When you're exaggerating shit?
Yeah, I like 18 or 8. Like I said, I like the
You
8s.
like the 8s?
For some reason. Yeah.
All right.
28, 38, whatever, 48. It just sounds weird.
It's your numerology minute. I'm asked ChatGPT if there's a reason behind that.
Well, I don't know if it's like, okay, you know how there's funny words, like some words are just funny, right? Like
Sure.
bazooka is like the funniest word in the English language.
Wait, what? Why is that?
It just is. That's the thing about the sounds.
Dude,
Bazooka.
I don't think you just get to declare.
bazooka.
You're not
It's the
king of the
funniest
country. You can't just say bazooka is the funniest word.
Well, and that's the problem is like fuck. Anything that ends in like a hard K
Sure.
sound, right?
That's a big one.
rule, right?
hard K's, F's, are
Fs.
both. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also, I don't know. I mean, I think that's to a point it could be, but what's your process with 8 though? Like,
I have no idea. Yeah, I think it's just I just think that word is funny.
easy to rhyme with shit.
Yeah. Yes.
It's how many times you masturbate a day.
Ooh, rhymes.
Masturbate 8.
Yo.
Don't be late. Bars.
Feeling great.
This is horrible. So that we figured out the number strategy.
Yeah, numbers. I don't know what's
But yeah, he
I don't
didn't
know
get
what's funnier, but
12,800 is the actual
what
number.
an idiot. But it does kind of fit. It does kind of fit into his joke though about being dumb,
Yeah, I mean,
right? Like,
Unintentionally,
he could
right?
justify it that way. It's
Sure.
just like, yeah, whatever.
and it's so. I do think it'd be funnier if it was actually the right number, and it doesn't matter at all. And I'm just being,
Yeah.
pedantic.
It's honestly kind of funny though that if it works people up.
Oh,
That
yeah.
it's wrong. That is kind of like
Well, there's
funny
like-
just
that's
to
like-
yourself.
The comments on YouTube. That's like 90% of them are like, "You did your math wrong, fucking stupid."
Are they really?
No, I'm saying no. There
I
are
see.
comments on YouTube, and what if that's like most of them are just
Got
like,
you.
"Dude, do your math right."
Yeah.
Fake news,
If he released this special in China, oh my god,
dude. He probably did.
they'd eat him
It's
alive.
on YouTube. They can they access YouTube? They can, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they have the same. I don't know how any of this works. I'm not smart.
How
enough
are
to
you
talk
an
about
expert
this.
on stuff? And you're like, no. I don't
I know
that.
bazooka's the funniest
I
word.
know bazooka. There's one thing I know.
bazooka, funniest word.
Funniest word.
Right?
No,
Am I wrong on the bazooka?
it's a great word. I'm not going to say it's the funniest word. I thought you were saying bazooka's the funniest word because like you read it somewhere. Like
I heard somebody say that, I think.
yeah, his name is Colton Drake. He made it up.
Well, okay, what would you say?
I'm not saying bazooka's a great example, but I mean, on the spot, I'm trying to think of anything like there's
like
some
what
like
you'd say.
cornucopia, I think is a funny word. I think that's a good one.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's a lot of funny, I'd have to go into it.
Okay.
Check it out.
We'll
You
have
know
to
what I
think
mean?
about that. Maybe
It's a good point.
Maybe that's something we can add.
Hey,
in later.
listeners,
Funnier word.
send your what do you think the funniest number is and the funniest word? Send
Yeah.
it to standupsnobs
Yes.
at gmail.com.
Both of them.
We're doing a straw poll, both of them. Exactly.
We're curious. Yeah, we're curious.
We're doing a straw poll.
This is a good one. I think this is a good one.
Billy's gonna be like, "You fucking idiots!"
Bitch is the funniest word.
It's the funniest. Jay Rudabon's like, "No, Billy, you're full of shit." I was open for him, dude. Open for him. Yeah. So send in your funniest words or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very funny. That's the funniest word right there. So we got we're tooling through this pretty good. Let's talk about anything I feel like we talked a lot about what we liked, which is a lot of the stuff.
Uh-huh.
Any extra stuff you want to talk about that you liked?
Let's see.
Because I definitely got through all the stuff.
Yeah, we talked about the edits. I think that was kind of a main one for me because I thought
Sure.
that'd be kind of tough. The transitions between sometimes his like the way that they would transition he'd be like almost standing in the same place when the transition would happen, so it would just kind of look smooth. I thought that was cool.
This is funny that we're watching.
We're watching Shane Gillis on
Shane.
TV.
So when we've always put the special on mute when we record the episodes so that Colton can look at Fashionisto stuff. And then on YouTube, it'll go on to the next video. And the next video of ours is Shane Gillis live at Austin, which is one of my favorite specials. But he's wearing just a shirt and pants. I'm like, wait, he changed his outfit in the middle? So I was thinking it was Joe List for a second. He shaved. He changed his outfit. He's got no glasses. Would he get LASIK in between the days? The curtains changed colors. What the hell's going on?
Oh, you know what? I do want to say this. What I don't like about I don't like Joe List's facial hair.
You don't like his facial? Oh, this is back to Fashionisto. Are we editing Alberts right now?
Editing
Going back,
Alberts?
dude?
I don't like it. What are you trying to look grody?
Remind me,
grody?
Is it just like sort of patchy beard?
It's just kind of like a 5 o'clock shadow, a little bit longer, maybe like an 8 o'clock shadow.
Hey, 37 o'clock shadow. Got it. You notice how 37 is so much funnier than 8? 37
as a tag, maybe not to my 8. To my 8.
Not to my 8. Can't step to my 8 with your 37.
And that's not a forced callback, guys.
Nah.
It's
I
consensual.
feel like it was
very
when you go,
consensual.
I feel like it was sort of forced.
Yeah, I don't like that. Because he kind of doesn't have, I mean, I know why he has the facial hair, because he doesn't really have a chin, right?
Okay.
He looks like a guy that will argue with you online, kind of.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
He looks like he played EverQuest.
He does look like that, yeah.
But I'd still play it.
But at the same time, just grow your beard out some, dude. He'd look
Maybe
like a
he
whole
can't.
different guy if it's a beard.
Do you think he can?
I think so.
Was it patchy or just short? Because it looked kind of patchy, I thought.
It just looked grubby.
like not well kept.
Yeah.
All right, well that could be either or. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know, but
All right,
I'm not crazy about it.
that's fair. That's fair. I think he would look too weird fully shaven though.
Oh my God. Yeah. That'd be
It would be
terrible.
way too
That'd be a
young
terrible
looking,
move. Yeah.
especially with all the old stuff. He's like 48 or 43, and he's talking. He looks like he's like 20,
Yeah.
and he talks about what he talks about. He has like an old guy sort of, not old guy, but my age.
But if he went into witness protection, I think he could change his look so quick. Just with like
hell yeah, dude.
some contacts and shave his face and throw a hat on backwards or something. He'd look like a whole different person.
He looks like a Russian engineer. Like he could definitely fit
dude.
in Russia.
He does. He looks like he works in like a nuclear power plant kind of.
Absolutely. So all he needs is some track pants. Fucking he'd be fine. He'd
Yeah,
be
wife
fine.
beater
I
and a
bet he
chain.
runs in track pants. Actually, I
A
bet he
wife
does.
beater and a chain.
Yeah. I'm boning up on my look like jokes because I got to do Roastamania this weekend.
Nice, dude.
So got to do some. Whoa! I don't know what I did there.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah.
I like that you're boning up on your lookalike jokes. You're not a lookalike joke
I don't
guy.
like lookalike jokes, but
Yeah.
in roast battles, you kind of have to have one or two. You don't have to, but it's the only thing that the audience knows that you also know. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So you I feel like you have to start out that way, and then you can move into like any other joke you do. You kind of have to set it up with some information about somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you can't just go up there and be like, you can go up there and be like, yeah, Jay Berg's fat. Obviously, that's easy because you can see it.
Yeah.
But you can't be like, Jay Berg hasn't been laid in 20 years. Like, you don't know that unless
Right.
unless you know that, right? So
Yeah.
you have to set up Jay Berg and then do the joke. You can't just be like, he
Yeah.
never gets anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It
I
just
do know what
helps
you
your
mean.
joke. So
For sure. And it's something that the audience can see too, and they can be like, yeah, he does look like that.
I have a couple for John. I'm against John. I feel like John's gonna have some good ones for me though too. I believe.
I'm excited.
I'm a little nervous about it, to be honest with you.
I just imagine.
Gonna cry.
I can't wait for one of you guys to ask me to help ghostwrite.
What if I cry, dude?
I'm willing to start being a ghostwriter.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting out a thing online, just be like, hey guys, if you guys want me to write jokes for you, I'll do it.
Are you gonna be a writer for local comics?
Yeah.
You know how annoyed you're gonna be when you fucking write decent jokes for people and they destroy them and cut them up and fuck them up.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I was thinking about that. If
Brutal,
it bombs too, well, like
I mean, how many times you give?
they'll
given
pay me
somebody?
for it,
Well,
right?
will they? The people who are going to ask you
You're
to
right.
write jokes, they have the kind of money. Like
You're
Phil
right.
Kopp's not going to be like, "Hey, you want to write jokes for me?"
You're right. But like a Nate
It's going to
Wright
be some
or
random
somebody,
person.
give me $10, Nate. Right? I'll get you. All right, I'll get you.
Do you
some
think
jokes.
Nate Wright has money? He works at Amazon, dude, as like a fulfillment specialist or whatever.
Well-
he doesn't have the kind of money where he's buying other people's jokes. I'll tell you that much.
But here's the thing: I'll come up with the premise and the joke. Okay, you can add
That's
to
the
it
whole thing, right? I'll put up the premise, the
the
joke,
setup
and
the
what he's wearing,
punchline. I'll come up with the premise, setup, and the punchline.
and the Fashionisto, dude.
Okay, you can add your tags, but then when it doesn't work, that's not me. That's on you.
So your tags,
Obviously.
garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't deliver it right.
All right.
That's my other thing with it.
Okay.
So you kind of get what you get. There's no receipts on
Yeah,
these.
I don't think you're
That's
going
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
getting a lot of business. So
It's something I've been thinking about trying
like
to
ghost
do.
right.
Yeah.
Ghost right for people who are good. You know what I mean?
Who?
I don't know. Start emailing people. Call Rosebud, dude. Email Rosebud. Be like, hey, you need a writer?
I'd love to write for you.
Hell yeah, dude.
You
I
need
don't think
jokes
she
about
needs
your
it.
kids? Let me
Oh,
hang
geez.
out with
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. That's funny. That's very funny.
Stupid.
I got a message from Beth Stelling today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I said, hey, thanks for coming through Spokane or whatever. That was cool. I was like, oh, you're very funny. That's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, so big time,
Chelsea
dude.
Lynn is at the comedy club tomorrow.
Chelsea Lynn. You might remember her as episode
Trailer Trash Tam Bam.
12. That's not her name, right? Isn't it Trailer Park Tammy? Is it Trailer Trash Tammy? Because whatever it was, remember you were calling her something and that wasn't the right name, but then the club started calling her that name. I think it's Trailer Park Tammy, and everybody's just calling her Trailer Trash Tammy.
Oh.
Now. Like it changed or something. I could be wrong on
I
that.
don't know. I think you are right because we were saying something.
Because you said
that
it.
was
You
wrong.
said it, and I was like, oh my God, you don't say that. Or
Yeah. I remember that. So, anyways,
I know what it was. It was Trashy Tammy. That's all it
Trashy
was.
Tammy. Yeah, that's what we were calling her.
It was. It is Trailer Trash Tammy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, she's at the club Tuesday, Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today.
Oh, really? She's there today?
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're doing it today.
Uh-huh.
And then Wednesday it comes out. But like, yeah, she'll be in here all week. She's going to have sold like $5 million worth of merch by then.
Damn.
She's almost sold out all of her shows Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Really?
Isn't that insane?
That is insane.
Dude, fucking
Good for
we
her.
gave her some shit, and I said it then, and I'll say it, that woman knows how to market the fuck out of herself.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's bad, and we talked
No,
about that.
she
She's
is
not.
funny.
She's just
Yeah.
kind of
She's funny. We just weren't huge fans of that last special.
yeah,
that's
for
all.
sure. But I saw her. What's funny is she was performing in Tacoma before she came in. So she performed in Tacoma over the weekend, and she's performing here.
Uh-huh.
And she was wearing the exact same outfit that she was wearing on the cruise.
Oh,
the
the
same
wolf-
shirt,
the
the
wolf
wolf
tank?
shirt. Yeah, the
Yeah.
wolf sleeveless tee.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible, dude.
Funny.
Incredible. She's gonna make so much money.
She could probably sell that shirt for so much money, dude.
Yeah. Are you gonna go to any of those shows? I'm not.
I don't
but-
think so.
Yeah. The only one I would go to maybe is tomorrow or it's Tuesday, but Wednesday night I'm having the impromptu mic
Sweet.
at DZ.
That'd be cool.
So anyway, that's not those shows are gonna be over by the time we release this, but whatever.
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's fine. We're just talking about it.
Yeah, we're just talking. We're talking about stuff. So what did we get to? Where were we at? Anything you didn't like
Anything I didn't like?
that you want to talk about?
This one was kind of tough because I didn't see anything that I personally didn't like at
Okay.
all. He didn't do anything to me that was like,
He didn't do anything to me.
yeah, well, that was,
didn't have
that
a-
I looked at and I was like,
Okay.
oh, what a hacky move.
Yeah.
The knock on the mic thing.
Yeah.
But I like that. I thought it was funny.
You liked it, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like the polling the audience thing. I already talked about that when he kept going like, "Hey, do you guys like this?" or "Yeah, do you know about this?" Like that kind of thing. But
and he was also kind of super aware of when a joke didn't work.
yeah,
I feel like he kind of called that out multiple times.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something I would say I didn't like about it.
Yeah.
Is because
He did.
I've done that too many times in the past. I think we've talked about it on here. So I try to be very cognizant of how many times I refer to a joke or to jokes not working because I don't want it to make it look like I'm bombing.
Did you like or did you notice a difference in how jokes were landing based on which venue he was at? Because I didn't, and I wondered if okay.
Yeah.
God, that's really hard. I mean, they did a really good job on the sound editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I took that. That came across my head and just randomly because you're talking about like before, like how much laughter he was getting on stuff.
Right.
It didn't feel like he wasn't getting a ton of laugh. There were definitely some parts you could tell he thought he was thinking he was going to get a laugh on, but also only because you're like only when I was looking for it when I saw it, I'm like, oh, he's gotten laughs on that before.
Well,
you know what I mean?
and just as a counterpoint to what I just said about the
You're arguing with yourself now.
Yeah. I'll argue
Shut
with
up,
me.
Colton.
Let me handle it. The fact that it's filmed in two different spots, maybe him saying like, "Oh, you guys didn't like that" or whatever, right? Like when he backs off, when they back off, and then he tries to like, kind of like what you do when you bomb, a joke bombs. Maybe it wasn't as many times as it may have seemed like because it was in two separate specials.
Yeah, it could be.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Two
and
different,
maybe that just made it look like it was like he was doing that more than he really was, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't have much else to say about it before we get to like why we're better. I did want to do do you have anything else you want to talk about real quick?
I don't think so.
Okay. I did want to do a ChatGPT review because that's our new favorite thing to do. I did notice on this one there's a little bit of like old school is wrong. A little bit of like repeat. I'm starting to notice a little bit of a pattern with the ChatGPT stuff. Like it seems like they're using the same sort of terminology over and over again. So here we go. I'm not gonna read the whole thing; it's too long. But we'll do the first two paragraphs and the last one. Joe lists Small Ball, a shrinking act in comedy. Ooh. That's one of the least powerful.
Very scathing.
Yeah. Joe lists Small Ball as an hour-long exercise in comedic minimalism, and not in a good way. What could have been a tight, self-deprecating examination of personal neuroses instead plays like a tepid therapy session masquerading as stand-up. Have we heard that exact line before? I think we have.
Sounds like it.
A tepid, or at least therapy session masquerading as stand-up. I feel like we've heard that like 3 times now. Come on, ChatGPT.
It likes
or
phrases.
Filipino people who are writing this or whatever that is. Did you hear about that?
No. What?
There's like an AI like source factory. I don't know exactly what it is, dude. I don't read, but people were paying for AI, or there's this like AI service that it turns out it wasn't AI. It was like a sweatshop full of Filipino people like doing the work. It was supposed to be AI work, and I have no idea like the context of it, but that is so funny. So they faked AI by using a sweatshop, dude.
That's hilarious.
And I think actually Nate Wright does a joke about it. Somebody started with that premise somewhere in their joke, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea for a joke. But anyway,
that is very funny. I didn't know that.
For a comic who's been in the game long enough to have sharpened his craft, this special feels like a baffling step backward, an unambitious, overly safe set that clings to relatable observations like a security blanket. Okay. Ultimately, Small Ball lives up to its name. It plays things small, safe, and forgettable for a comic capable of more, and List has certainly shown flashes of brilliance in the past. It's frustrating to see him settle for less. There's a difference between being low-key and being low effort. Small Ball feels like the latter.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree. I do think that it wasn't that risky.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that about it. I like that it was, kind of lighthearted, fun.
Yeah, that wasn't as scathing as I had hoped, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You're like, Joe, this is a fucker, dude.
No, the name of the special, Small Ball.
Great. Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea where that came from.
No clue.
I listened to the special 3 times. I was like, I don't know if I'm maybe just missing it.
And I don't really know anything it really relates to. I think it's a bad name for the special.
Yeah.
I didn't have a better one.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have a better one.
No, I didn't. Do you? Picasso? The Picasso, the Italian painter? I don't know, dude.
What's he say when the C-section after the C-section? Oh, it's a show. Get tickets to the show.
Sure.
You should see a C-section or something like that.
Yeah, I don't have a great name for it. I bet there's better ones out there. Just one that doesn't even have to deal with the just like
Small ball was kind of I didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Anything was the best. But whatever. I don't think we need to do the rest of these. Is it good hang? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, could be cool.
If you like to read. Would it work an open mic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Would.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Listener mail, we don't have any. Oh shit. We have our last category, which is of course. Why I'm better than.
Why I'm better.
And as you know, we are the greatest comedians of all time. That's why we're recording this podcast in my mom's basement. And we have a combined $37. We've earned a combined $37 at comedy clubs. Boom. Or 8, depending on who you ask. So who's better than us to tell Joe List he's a piece of shit and we're better than he is? And I will let you go first if you want to.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Joe List, I'm better than you because I don't need glasses to see. Boom, coming in hot with that one.
Nice nearsightedness, dick.
Also, I know the lesson to like not mention that your jokes are bombing every time a joke doesn't work. Come on, where's the professionalism in that? All right. Also, way to try to do a bunch of clean material and then still find ways to slide dick jokes in, dude. Classic open micer move.
Sliding
them in, which I like them, but it's also whack. Like ChatGPT said, where's the edge and where's the... You showed brilliance. Where is it?
You're too comfortable, dude.
That's ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is why I'm
also, how about you just film the special in one place? Why does it need to be 2 places? Do you really want to show people how much you're above them because the stage is so much bigger in Chicago at Zany's? Come on, man.
All right.
Everybody liked the one that was at Rosebud Park or what was it?
Rosebud
Rosemont. Rosemont. Everybody liked
Rosebud Parker. You fucked it up so many different ways.
We liked the one at Rosemont. You had good style at Rosemont. Maybe keep that in mind when you go to Chicago next time.
Yo.
That's how I'm better. Love you, Joe List. You're awesome.
Yo. Throwing up dubs.
Suck it.
Peace. Yeah. All right. That was why Colton Drake is better than Joe List.
Yeah.
Scathing review.
Harsh, dude.
All right.
Fire.
How am I better than Joe List? Joey Jojo. Jojo. You're dog shit, dude. It was terrible. I hated everything about this special. I don't like the way you look. I don't want you to talk about having a wife. I don't think you do have a wife. I think you fuck your real doll, and that's how you had a kid. I have no idea. That's very odd. It's probably plastic. I hated that you pulled the audience. I hate when you pulled it. You pulled the audience like 14 times. You're supposed to be doing comedy for 25 years, and you're pulling the audience every third fucking joke. Learn to write a transition, man. The fuck are you doing, dude? That's insane. Joe, this is probably the worst titled special we've ever had. Small ball makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense. Do you have small balls? Did you not talk about that? Did it have something to do with the twisting the balls part? No, you didn't. You didn't make any sort of effort to create a decent title. And this is on my list, Joe, of the worst specials of all time. Boom! No.
Boom. Oh, man. Joe List, you made his list. Bars.
Yeah, dude.
Hashtag bars.
It's horrible bars. It's one of my top bars. So that was Joe List. We all enjoyed the special.
Yeah,
I would
liked
say.
it. Liked it
I
a
would. I'm definitely going to check out some of his others. I've never seen his other specials. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw the stand-ups. The stand-ups. His half hour on that. I'm pretty sure, but I don't think I've seen all.
I'm a Joe List fan. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's funny.
I think he's cool.
But yeah, I'll probably check out. Man, I can't imagine him with Norman though. Both of them talk so fast.
Yeah.
It'd kind of be an exhausting podcast to listen to. Just be like, oh my God, it's worked out. That's crazy. But that closes the book on Joe List. Check his shit out. It is on YouTube. If you haven't seen it already, go watch it, man.
Yeah, it's free. You just got to go through some ads.
I also don't. Dude, there were a lot of ads, it felt like.
So many ads.
I feel like there was one every like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that just a new YouTube thing, or do you think it's...
I have no idea.
Yeah, I wonder how they do
At least
that.
you can skip them.
So after a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was Joe List. Let's move on to...
real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
The ads did put me on to the new Jurassic World coming out that I was like,
They worked. They worked on
July
you.
5th. Get the fuck out of here. I'll go check that out. So
It'd be better if it was July 8th, but...
it would be. or July 37th.
Best day in July, dude. All right.
Consensual
so
callbacks.
these are really forced.
I know.
These are not consensual at all. These are very Cosby callbacks right here. They're forced in. Okay, so next up, Instagram follower count update quickly. You were at 522. Now you're at 524.
Oh,
I was
really?
at 468. Now I'm at 470. So we tied this week. Also, we got
Nice.
2 more listeners from the pod. So all 3 of us got 2.
Sweet.
Let's do better next week.
Yeah.
So that keeps us at Colton. Colton's at 14, 12 to 3.
Nice.
3 ties. That's please follow us on Instagram. Mine is Jaybird Comedy. Yours is
At Colton Drake Comedy.
and the good thing you did the app part. They're never gonna know. Yeah.
Yeah.
on
I know. I
Instagram.
have to do that for the
Gotta
guys.
do it. People are like, I couldn't find you.
Did you do the
and
ad?
then-
Did you do the ad?
Did you do the app? Also, Stand Up Snobs is Stand Up Snobs. So go ahead and follow all those places.
Yeah, at stand up stuff.
Oh, good call. At Stand Up Snobs 37. Really just forcing them in now. So yeah, please do that if you can. Also, let's see what do we got left. Who are you following, buddy?
I am following. I gave you the name.
Tanner Amiglio.
Amiglio. Yeah, Tanner Amiglio. He works, I believe, at the YMH Studios with Tom Segura. I don't know. I came across some of his clips, though, and I thought he was pretty funny.
Right
and
on.
he's kind of a lower dude. Looks like kind of working his way up. A little younger guy.
Yeah.
So
He's only 10 times more popular than we are.
yeah, by a lot. Yeah.
That's always funny. We're like, this guy's, really trying to work it out. And it's like, dude, fucking no one listens to your podcast. No one pays you to do comedy. Who the fuck are you?
Well, and he's got like 37 times as many followers. as us.
Yeah. All right. Too much. A bridge too far.
Ah, dang.
We have hacked it up pretty good. That is Tanner Amiglio, TANNERAMIGLEO. Check him out. Also, mine for this week, Glenn Wool, GLENN_WOOL. Just ran across him randomly. Funny stuff. Enjoyed it. So check those people out. Those are our comics to listen to for this week. Upcoming shows, my man. What do you have?
Okay, so July 5th and 6th, I'm at the Spokane Comedy Club. I'll be hosting for Mike Cronin. And then July 19th, I will be at a Mediterranean restaurant in Seattle that starts with an H.
Just having dinner,
Yeah, I'm
or just gonna have some shawarma?
I'll just be there. I'll be out there. Now I'm doing a show out there with Anthony Singleton. That'll be fun. And then we have our Anthony Singleton show on
July 11th. Friday, July 11th.
July 11th,
Post
baby.
Falls. Live podcast.
Live pod.
And also the world premiere of Anthony Singleton's Spokane Famous
Hell yeah.
YouTube special.
Sweet. I'm excited for that.
Okay. And then I have this Sunday, Roastamania at Spokane Comedy Club. I'll be going against John Hodge. 628 Taste of Northwest in Puyallup. Doing a little bit of show there. That's
Nice.
that's Saturday. I'm going to head over there with Chris Jessup. And then July 11th, we already mentioned that. July 19th, I have a little private event. July 26th, I'm headlining at the Draft Zone. That's going to be really big for me. I really hope that
Yeah, I'm
got
really
some
excited
people out
for
there for that. And yeah, I'm probably going to have Colton on that show. We'll see. We'll see if he upsets me or not.
it. Yeah,
I think
that's all right.
it'll be fine. I did want to say, next week. Next week, we didn't talk about who we're doing next week, but I have a suggestion. So the next Hilarious special is out. I have no idea who this person is. Atsuko Okatsuka. Atsuko Okatsuka.
Is that a Mortal Kombat character?
Maybe. Maybe Tekken? No, you don't think so? It's called Father. Why is that funny?
What do you mean? Why is that funny? The
'Cause it's a
name of
chick?
the person is so crazy.
Oh,
no.
and it's just a one word. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Atsuko.
Atsuko Okatsuka.
The name of the special is Dad.
No, she went.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. So we'll probably do on that one next week. In the meantime, stay funny, my friends.
Nice.
That's so dumb.
Nice.
That's
Whoa,
so
dude.
bad,
You
dude.
dropping new one-liners?
Stealing them, blatantly ripping off other people. Yeah.
Stay funny. Who says that?
Stay funny, my friends. It's like stay thirsty, my friends, or whatever. Like I was
okay.
stealing the Dos Equis guys shit.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Damn, dude, look at you. It's cool. That made me thirsty for Dos Equis.
Yes. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. And in the meantime, see you later.
Bye-bye.
What's up, Los Angeles?
Try us
asked my husband the other day how to turn on the washing machine, and that's how he realized that he had been doing the laundry all these years. I was shocked too. Oh my God, it has been you. This whole time. You know when you've seen someone do something, so you think, oh, that was me too? Right. Only to walk up to the washing machine and realize, I've never touched these buttons before. Women, why do we have to know everything? Why do we have to be stable? Yes! What about the bitch that crumbles easily? I want to grow my hair out, but I can't because this is my brand. My fans are always out there being like, Atsuko is mother. She is mother. She is mothering. Oh, no. I am father.